awarded project in the state out of that round. So we got all of the funding that was requested in that round. And I know that the township and Limerick have both been notified by the CFA of the award. That's official. The funds have been committed, and a contract is available to be entered into. And there's a 3-year period from the date of the award, July 1, to actually expend the funds. So there's actually a 3-year window to get that built. A lot of work has been done on that project. There's a lot of background, and it's, I think, you know, the outcome there is one that is better than, is the best outcome that we could possibly achieve. There is a local match with that funding, and as a matter of record, the funds require a 30% non-state match between Limerick and Lower Pottsgrove. That amounts to $900,988 in match, and that is the commitment for the westbound on-ramp only. So that relates to the funds that was awarded July 1, and that is the match between the two townships. So an outstanding result, the highest award in the state of 67 counties, 200 and some odd applications went in, and that was a result for the westbound ramp. We believe, and I know we've been talking about this with Ed and with your counterparts in Limerick, there is an opportunity at this time to secure funding for the more expensive and costly eastbound ramp. PennDOT would like to see those ramp systems built. There's no question about that. There's a lot of interest in the district. The townships have stepped up in a tremendous way, and you've been able to put the funding together for the westbound ramp. The eastbound ramp that completes the interchange project is something that we believe can be achieved through discussions with PennDOT. Not going through another round of funding through the applications, but working with the department on program funding to construct both the westbound and the eastbound as one unified project. And maybe Lou, we do have some background material, very brief, we'll hand out to you. The bottom of this page has the benefits of doing both ramps at one time. And those are significant benefits. Construction savings, efficiencies, not having to go back up and basically go into the same area and do another project in a relatively short period of time. Doing the construction now, do both ramps at this time, in addition to the efficiencies you get now, is also going to prevent the risk with future cost increases over time. Delays for the next phase of the project is only going to result in a more costly project down the road. So there are a number of economies of scale and capacity and safety benefits from doing both ramps at one time. That's the choice we have in front of us now. We secured the $2.1 million that's been committed through a program. I mentioned that the opportunity to secure the funding for the eastbound ramp is really, I think, at this point, a negotiated discussion with PennDOT. We're talking with them at the highest levels. We have a meeting with the agency central office scheduled for, I think, early December or late November, but it is on the books. And what we put in front of PennDOT is this, and I'll just boil it down to this. You have a local match that is required by the funds that were awarded. That's the match of record, the $900,988. The position that we're advancing with PennDOT is that is the totality of the funds that the municipalities are going to come to the table with. Instead of just focusing on the westbound ramp at this time, let's use that money to do the design for both ramps, what PennDOT calls the plan specification and estimates, the PS&E package. That is a little less than that $900,000 figure that you have in front of you, and deliver to PennDOT the plans to do both ramps, and then the agency takes over construction, and the townships are limited to the contribution of the PS&E and really the $900,988. There's a difference there because while the plans may be a little less than that number, the match of record is the $900,000. I don't think it's likely they're going to let us get out of this without the $900,000 being committed. But our position is that's it. You guys have stepped up in a big way to do improvements on state roads, and you know the department can then take over and build the ramps. So that is really the decision point that's in front of both municipalities. We've advanced that with PennDOT. I think we have a good chance to prevail in that. And you know, we have a couple meetings, and we have a meeting scheduled, and we're going to have a good bit of dialogue over the next couple months. But that is where that is a decision. So I think it's a really good place to be because you know, you have one ramp, and you know what that is, and we've been discussing that for some time, and you have you understand the match requirements that go with the westbound ramp, and now we have an opportunity to really get a 2-for-1 to get both at one time, and for basically the same commitment that you have for the westbound ramp. So that's really what's in front of us. You know, in my professional opinion, doing this for as long as I have, working with PennDOT, working with the agencies and the stakeholders, I think the iron is right to strike. I mean, now is the time to do this, and we have a willing group that's listening to us and willing to work with us, and we recommend pursuing that course of action.
Earl, you were at one of his meetings. You have anything to fill in on that?
I don't have any additional questions.
Any of the commissioners have any questions for the other group?
Yeah, I do. I think I'd like to, as emergency management coordinator, have a little meeting with our public safety people and talk to them about how this would affect a shutdown of the bypass, which happens from time to time with the vehicle accidents. We have a lot of work going on the western part of the township and all those, not trying to shoot it down, just trying to coordinate a little safety for those folks. I don't want it to be a surprise to them. There may be some type of implementation plan or something they need. I don't know what you think about it, Earl, but for the police, the fire police, they all might like to sit down at the same table and discuss how this is going to affect them if they had to shut that down, especially if we're a Black Friday or something like that. You know, when we have tons of traffic backed up all over the place, and how it affects the residents all over, not only Evergreen Road, but all around this whole area. But I think it's a good idea. If we can save some money, and while we have the deployment of equipment out for one side, to do the other side too. I understand all that. Not trying to shoot it down. Just here to try to coordinate with some of our folks here at the township.
It's important.
Thanks.
I guess at this point, hold on. At this point, we need the explanation. What do you need from us tonight? And I can leave Ed explain that, or Solicitor.
What we did is in the previous ramp, we went on with the westbound ramp. They had a contract with Limerick Township. And then we split the cost 60 by 35. For the eastbound ramp, they have already executed a contract with Limerick, which is in your packet. Is that something you guys want to go along with the eastbound ramp? I know we discussed this before, and the breakdown is in there of what our percentages are for the next 3 months. That's the action for this expenditures of township funds.
Anything from a solicitor on that?
No, I think the manager explained where we are in the process, and it's up to the board to decide if they want to move ahead.
And is that what you need from us?
That is what we would need.
board have enough time to digest this? And what's the board's pleasure?
The 3-month agreement, is how much, Ed? Excuse me.
Our share,
Yes.
it's in your packet. 3 months would be right here.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. The 3-month agreement, thank you. I want to make a motion that we approve the consultant agreement, Delta Group.
I'll second that motion.
Motion on the floor, second. Any other questions from the
Mr.
board?
Mr. President, since we went out of order and didn't have public comment, I think the public has the right to make comment before you take any official action this evening under the Sunshine Act.
Okay, thank you for correcting that. And now we'll take your,
Okay, what kind of time frame are we talking about on this project?
And what do you mean, Tom?
Well, what I mean is you're talking about money, you know, and you're talking about a couple million, and then the eastbound or the westbound ramp and all, but when do you think that you would be starting and when you would be finished? You know, how many months is this project going to take and things like that? You're going to be, like PennDOT, you know, somebody has to get on to get her done business because 422 up there needs some Army engineers up there to get that job done because that's taking totally too long. And this is what happens with so many of these projects. They make a lifetime retirement project out of it. So that's why I just
What we
was
got
curious.
as estimates from traffic plan and design is we do the westbound ramp to go through the local design permit process, which is a little simple process. Probably November of 2017, we'll be ready to go.
November of 2017,
That's correct.
they will be ready to start digging.
That's the estimate to traffic plan and design.
And then-
If you
and then
do
you-
both ramps,
And then another year or two of grubbing.
if you do both ramps, it's a longer process. Design build, you're looking May of 2018.
Well, I just want to know, you have some kind of idea. You may start in the end of 2017 and be done in 2020 or something like that.
I hope not, Tom.
No, but I just wanted to get something
Well,
started here
the
because.
design and everything has not been approved, everything would have to be approved. We can't guess a time of construction, right? We can guess the time of when they can start, but we'd have to get the plans, and the plans would have to get approved, and once the plans are approved, and they were gonna move forward with the project, then we could give almost an exact date of construction.
All I'm trying to say is that things take too damn long. You know,
Right, well, that's
like 422 there is a disgrace as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we're not fighting, the Delta Group's not here to fight about the construction, they're not PennDOT. They just go to PennDOT and get the money.
It's not only money, but get something done.
Right.
any other comments by any members? Yes, over here.
Thank you, Mr. President. What's the township's financial outlay in total for the 3-month period, and what percentage does that represent of the total contract?
65-35, very similar to what we had before, and the cost for 3 months would be $5,250.
Monthly or in total?
That's total for 3 months.
Thank you very much.
Yes, over here. Tony?
Tony Doyle, I didn't hear everybody say, because they're not here tonight, I don't think, but I haven't heard anybody saying about this Sanatoga Green bringing money to the table. Are they in this thing with us, or are we by ourselves?
Gentleman sitting right in front of you.
All right, well, I'm just asking. Thank you.
Ted,
So I'll give this a chance, but that's my concern. I hear we keep paying and paying, and this outfit's never come up and really said anything.
Well, my name is Ted Drauschak. I'm managing member of Castle Caldecott, which is the developer of Sanatoga Green. We've had several meetings with the township and with the joint township committees between Lower Pottsgrove and Limerick regarding the interchange. I want to thank Delta for doing a great job in getting the grant for the construction of the westbound ramp. It's very important to our project and really to the community. We intend to fully cooperate with this process, and we'll be making a significant contribution to the Act 209 funds as a part of that project approval. I believe the fee is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 per PM trip. Our project alone will generate in the range of $700,000 of fees that will go into that fund to help the township participate in the construction of both ramps. The only thing I think that's missing in terms of the eastbound ramp is the right-of-way that's required at the corner of 422 and Evergreen Road on the southwest quadrant. One of the members of Castle Caldecott actually owns that 3 acres of land that sits right at that corner, and it's our intent to meet with the township joint committee this week and resolve that issue and hopefully find a way to accommodate the design and provide the land that's necessary for the ramp to be constructed through a mutual arrangement with the joint committee. So it's in our best interest to have both ramps constructed. We believe it's in the township's best interest and the community's best interest to have both ramps constructed. So we intend to make a full contribution to that process. We don't actually pay for that. That money goes to the Act 209 funds, which are controlled by the township. The township is free to use those funds as approved as part of that project. So we assume that a significant part of that will be part of the interchange construction. So hopefully the taxpayers aren't bearing the cost of those ramps being constructed. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion on the floor, it's seconded for the Della Group. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for all your hard work, too. I know we were